Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. His Excellency Dr. Jamal Bakr Abdullah, Ambassador of Ethiopia to Pakistan. Professor Dr. Muhammad Iqbal Chaudhry, Coordinator General OIC, Homestead. Ms. Fadia Bia, Vice President of Youth Prosperity Party, the ruling party. Distinguished Ethiopian delegates, distinguished ambassadors and high commissioners, esteemed experts and participants, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum and warm greetings. It is both a privilege and personal honor to address this important green dialogue jointly arranged by Ethiopian Embassy and Homestead. I warmly acknowledge the hard work put in by the organizer to convene this important dialogue. This gathering is a declaration of our shared determination to jointly address one of humanity's gravest challenges, climate change, with unity, science, and actions. We have excellent relations with Ethiopia, 60 years of diplomatic relations. We appreciate your support for the Security Council for Pakistan membership. Ladies and gentlemen, for Pakistan, climate change is not a distant threat. We live it. Despite contributing less than 1% of global emissions, we rank first in the climate risk index. In the 2022 floods submerged 1/3 of our land, displaced millions, and caused over $30 billion in damage. These are not isolated events. Glacial floods, droughts, and erratic monsoons now threaten our agriculture, water security, and way of life. Ethiopia's struggles mirror ours in the form of droughts, land degradation, and environmental stress. Yet, your nation inspires through large-scale reforestation, water conservation, and climate-smart agriculture. In these shared challenges, we find common purpose. Ladies and gentlemen, our Parliament has enshrined the right to a clean environment in the Constitution. We passed landmark laws like the Pakistan Climate Change Act and National Energy Efficiency Act. We are the world's first parliament running entirely on solar power. But laws alone are not enough. Our parliamentary committees actively monitor climate finance, adaptation plans, and carbon markets to ensure implementation. From COP27 in Egypt and COP29 in Baku, Pakistan has been a voice for vulnerable. At COP27, we championed the loss and damage fund born from our flood tragedy. By COP29, this fund became operational, backed by international pledges. At COP29, Pakistan's proactive approach made significant following headways. We advocated for $1.3 trillion per year in climate finance by 2030. Though negotiations settled at $300 billion by 2035, our push made finance a central outcome. We broke a 9-year deadlock on carbon market rules, securing flexibility for developing nations and control over carbon credits. This will save $250 billion annually in global costs. we partner with African Group and others towards integrating finance into global goal of adaptation, ensuring it is a measurable, equitable, and resourced. We insist just transitions must be country-led and publicly funded as mandated by the Paris Agreement. Through the G77 China and climate vulnerable nations, we uphold common but differentiated responsibilities. Ladies and gentlemen, our afforestation efforts draw powerful parallels. Pakistan's Green Pakistan program, Living Indus Initiative, and Indus Delta Blue Carbon Project resonate with Ethiopia's visionary Green Legacy Initiative. This initiative showcases Ethiopia's commitment to the Paris Agreement, SDGs, and Agenda 2063. If climate change is our greatest challenge, South-South cooperation is our most potent tool. With shared constraints, limited climate finance, exposure to extreme weather, and climate-dependent economies. But we also share strengths, dynamic populations, renewable energy potential, and traditions of living with nature. The way forward, therefore, lies in a coordinated efforts at the government, parliamentary, and institutional levels. Let us move beyond symbolism. Today's dialogue is not an end. It is the beginning of a deeper strategic partnership. Let us commit to maximizing linkages and exchanges between our respective parliamentary committees to share best practices and legislative interventions to further our green initiatives. Creating a joint task force on climate resilience to coordinate policy and projects. Strengthening linkages between our universities, academia, and research institute to exchange expertise on drought-resistant crops, water management, solar irrigation, and green finance. Ladies and gentlemen, we cannot wait for solutions from global north. We must innovate locally and collaborate regionally. When the global south unites, we transform climate diplomacy from charity to justice, from dependence to self-reliance. As the founding chairman of the Inter-Parliamentary Speakers Conference, I take this opportunity to invite Ethiopia's parliamentary leadership to the ISC gathering we are convening in Islamabad in November 2025. With over 45 speakers of parliaments from around the world attending this event, it will be a great opportunity to further advance our inclusive and sustainable development agendas. In conclusion, I'd like to say, let today be remembered not just as a dialogue, but as the dawn of renewed partnership. Together, we can build a greener, safer, and more sustainable future for our people. Thank you. Long live Pakistan, Ethiopia.
चेयरमैन सेनेट सैयद यूसफ रजा गिलानी एथो ग्रीन डायलॉग से खिताब कर रहे थे। उन्होंने कहा कि पाकिस्तान और इथोपिया सब्ज, महफूज और पायदार मुस्तकबिल के लिए मिलकर काम करेंगे। माहौलियाती तब्दीली सबसे बड़ा चैलेंज है। मुश्तरका टास्क फोर्स कायम की जाए। पार्लियामेंट शमसी तवानाई पर मुंतकिल होने वाली पहली पार्लियामेंट है। चेयरमैन सेनेट ने यहाँ पर खिताब करते हुए ये भी कहा कि 2022 के तबाहकुन सैलाब से पाकिस्तान में $30 अरब से जायद का नुकसान हुआ। पाकिस्तान ग्लेशियाई झीलों के पिघलने और खुश्क साली जैसे खतरात से दो चार है। इथोपिया की शजरकारी और क्लाइमेट स्मार्ट एग्रीकल्चर इकदाम दुनिया के लिए काबिल तकलीद मिसाल हैं। PTV न्यूज से ये थी अब तक की ताज़ा तरीन खबर।
हर वक्त, बार वक्त